Peak Design Travel Tripod. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Peak Design Carbon Fiber Travel Tripod, and I'll tell you a little bit about how it performs in my tests in the field and in studio conditions. Unlike traditional tripods, travel tripods are designed well for travel. They have more leg sections, so they are much smaller when not extended. Peak Design's travel tripod is very compact, and unlike my Manfrotto 190 tripod, it fits easily in my carry-on bag. But the question is, how does it stand up to real-world use? Peak Design's travel tripod is very well built. I've handled many tripods, and I can say that the latches and the legs and all the mechanisms on the tripod move very smoothly. I've used the tripod in the middle of a stream and in muddy environments, and so far I've had no problems with it. I doubt you'd have to worry about this tripod malfunctioning in harsh environments. The ball head itself is an interesting design. It uses a ring around the circumference to lock and unlock the ball, and it works very well. It's got an Arca Swiss compatible head with a special thin plate that fits on the bottom of your camera. Regular Arca Swiss plates do fit on this tripod, but you will have to remove the safety screws on the tripod head to allow bigger plates to fit. Additionally, some Arca Swiss compatible plates like this one for my Oben head also have safety screws built in, so you'd have to remove those as well to make sure such a plate will fit on the tripod. On the other hand, if you're going to only use the plate that comes with the tripod, I'd recommend leaving the safety screws on the tripod because they will prevent your camera from sliding out once you unlock the head. The tripod head can also be easily mounted on the bottom of the center column too if you're going for very low shots. It's pretty easy to do and useful for shots that really need low angles. You can also adjust the legs to different angles as well. Although they don't have click stops, they are fairly secure, and I managed to get a long exposure shot with it in the middle of a stream. The tripod comes with a little tool that's actually attached to the side of the tripod, and it's used to attach the plate to the bottom of the camera. It's actually attached by tension. It hasn't come off yet, but when I'm going into a fairly rough environment, I do tend to take the tool off and put it in a zippered pocket in my camera bag because at a very odd angle, a sharp rock could theoretically knock it off. Then we've also got a nice little attachment in the bottom of the tripod, a phone holder with an Arca Swiss base, which is very useful if you want to take a phone shot. This will especially appeal to people who like to take video and need some extra footage with their phone. In using this tripod, I immediately felt that some serious care was put into its design. For example, the center column has a knob that recedes into the tripod, and it's magnetically held there so that there aren't any parts of the tripod sticking out. I liked the ball head also. It's got a single level, and it's easy to adjust. The only thing you should be aware of is that with some cameras with very thick bases, like older DSLRs, the base may obscure the level, so you'll need to level the head before you take your shot. However, with most thinner, mirrorless cameras, you can still see the level clearly, especially if you have a pull-out screen. That being said, for most types of shots, you may not even need to be so precise with leveling except when you're extending your tripod, and then you won't even have a camera on it. The only downside with the ball head is that it actually doesn't have a separate panoramic locking base. Personally though, I don't take very many panoramas even when I do landscape photography, so I didn't miss this feature, and I'm glad to sacrifice it to gain more compactness. For those that do need to attach specialty heads though, for panoramic features or for those who want to use a video fluid head, it is possible if you get Peak Design's universal head adapter. At some point, I'm going to try my Manfrotto Nitrotech 608 fluid head on it. I also like the stability of the tripod, and after using this tripod in the jungles of Brazil, I can say that it's quite durable. I actually also found myself using this tripod at home in studio conditions more than my bigger tripod just because it's so easy to set up and take down. And so it's much easier to use than lugging a big tripod around a room, say for macro photography. You may have noticed that there are many other tripods on the market, travel tripods, like this travel tripod. So what makes this one different than the other tripods out there, and should you get this one over other tripods? For example, let's talk about weight. The Peak Design travel tripod is 1.27 kilograms, whereas the Oben CT3565 is 1.45 kilograms. Also, the Peak Design's maximum working height is 152.4 centimeters, whereas the working height of the Gitzo 16.7-inch Travel Series 1 tripod is 153 centimeters, but its closed length is 2.5 centimeters longer than the Peak Design. So I think that of all the travel tripods on the market, the Peak Design one is certainly one of the better ones when it comes to a compromise between weight, closed length, and working height. The Peak Design travel tripod comes with a custom bag that is very snug. That means it takes up minimal space in your bag, which is super important for airline travel. Us photographers already have to deal with packing problems when we travel because gear takes up so much space. So it's nice to save a little space. And that's also helped by this tripod's compact ball head design, which is not present on some other travel tripods. I also appreciated the hook at the bottom of the tripod that can be used to hang a weight on, like your bag, for additional stability. Not all travel tripods come with this feature, which can be useful for windy situations, especially with lighter tripods like travel tripods. One last thing I liked about Peak Design's travel tripod is that it comes with a limited lifetime warranty, and that's longer than the warranties provided by Oben or Gitzo. And since a good tripod can actually last you a very long time, at least 20 or 30 years, that's worth thinking about. Conclusion. After using Peak Design's travel tripod carbon fiber edition in the middle of the dense and dangerous Brazilian tropical forest and at home for macro photography, I found that the Peak Design travel tripod is a very fun piece of gear to use, it's reliable, and it's certainly become one of my favorite pieces of gear. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.